Hi everyone, and welcome back to Tea Time Diaries. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few places that I went to, that I visited while I was in Texas last month in February. And I'm going to be sharing what I purchased from those places. I just went to a few thrift stores, a couple antique shops, and so I'm just going to share what I purchased at the end of the video. But before I share that, I'm just going to share some videos and clips of the places that I visited, as well as this tea room that I visited in Frisco, Texas, which was a lot of fun as well. So I'll just share the experiences with you first, and then after that, I will go ahead and show you what I purchased. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. The first antique shop I visited was located in Paris, Texas. Paris, Texas is a quaint little town with a European flair and its own Eiffel Tower. The antique shop I visited is called Antique Mall, and it had a variety of items from souvenirs to books, china, clothing, and more. It was a lot of fun perusing the aisles and checking out all the unique items they had here. On a different day, I visited Frisco, Texas, and I went to the Frisco Mercantile. Here they have a combination of new and antique items. The store was beautifully laid out with intricate and well-designed displays. They sold clothing, books, candles, body products, and so much more. I highly recommend visiting this store if you're in Frisco. Next, I headed to La Parisine Bistro, also located in Frisco. They had a beautiful afternoon tea menu there. A reservation is required for afternoon tea, and they cater to vegetarians with advance notice at the time you book the reservation. I enjoyed a variety of savory items like a classic cucumber sandwich, deviled egg, and avocado on a toasted crostini. They serve two types of scones, a traditional and a blueberry scone, along with delicious desserts. Lastly, I visited the Rockwall County Helping Hands thrift store and boutiques, and this is a shop that has a lot of amazing items as well. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and show you what it is that I purchased. Now, the first thing I'm going to share with you is a book. I love to read, and I have shared books with you guys before that have to do with tea time or our themes, have some type of tea time theme, right? And so the antique store that I showed you guys that was in Paris, Texas, that's where I purchased this book from. It was $2.99. Let me make sure. Yeah, it was $2.99. I don't know if you guys can see the price, but it is written in pencil, so you might not be able to see it. But I saw this book, and of course, I flipped through it, and I was like, I'm going to pick this up because I do like to read as much information as I can about tea. And there was a really interesting fact that I read in here that I haven't read in any of my other books. I want to share that with you because I thought it was really interesting. So the title of the book is Tea for Two, and so the first thing it does in the book is that it explains the history behind the saying tea for two, which of course I didn't know what that meant. I know there was a song entitled Tea for Two, and I've heard that before. So that's where I thought that expression came from. But it actually explains that the expression comes from in the 18th century, vendors used to sell tea for 3 pence. And what some of the other vendors did in order to be competitive was that they would sell the same pot of tea for 2 pence. And so what they would shout would be 2 for tea. So, sorry, tea for two, meaning tea for 2 pence. So that's where the whole phrase came from, tea for two. So now it means something different, which I'll read that to you guys. It says, today the phrase has come to mean so much more and now speaks of a cozy time for friends to relax, to enjoy the moment, unburden themselves for an hour or two, and share their lives together. So I thought that was really beautiful because that is exactly what I love to do when I have people visit my home or when I go out with them to a tea room to have tea. That's exactly the whole purpose, and what I feel really embodies that expression, tea for two. But it was really cool to learn about the history of that phrase and what it means. So if you, like me, didn't know what it meant, now you do. And there was a lot of other interesting facts in this book, but I wanted to just share that little tidbit with you. But yeah, for $3, you can't beat that. So I'm going to add that to my collection of books about tea. So that was the first thing. Then I went to the thrift store that I shared with you that is in Rockwall, Texas. And that place, I have to share this story with you again. I'm sorry if you're just excited to see the item and I'm chatting too much. I apologize, but I just think it's an interesting story. So the last time I visited Texas in September, I went to that same thrift store and I found this beautiful teacup that looked like fall to me. Right? It had these beautiful warm burnt orange colors, black. It was just so beautiful. And I went there in September. So I used that teacup, to represent fall in all of my pictures that I posted on Instagram and things like that for fall. So I loved it. It's beautiful. I still have it. It was a Royal Albert teacup and I did not pay a lot of money for it. So this time when I went, I was searching because, as I mentioned before, there's a boutique part where they have more high-end items, and then they have the other side of the store where, basically they just have everything else, right? So the last time I had found the Royal Albert teacup in the boutique section. So I went to the boutique section first, bought some clothes, but I didn't find any teacups. So I went to the other side and I decided, hey, I'm going to check You Never Know. And what, to my surprise, it was such a huge blessing for me because, again, these things don't really mean anything, right? They're just material things. But it's nice when you can have those like little moments of like, wow, I found this. How nice, how cool is that? So I was looking at, where they had all the china and they had this beautiful set, guys. Let me show you. So this is what it looks like. I'll show you piece by piece. But first, this is the teacup, right? Now, this is a Royal Albert. This is a Royal Albert teacup. This is from the Blossom Time series. Blossom Time series, if you can see. And I love it. It has cherry blossoms on it. And that reminds me of spring, especially because, that's when the cherry blossoms come out, right? And here in New Jersey, we have a couple areas where you can go see the cherry blossoms. In Washington, D.C., you can go see the cherry blossoms. So it just, for me, this is reminiscent of spring, for sure, the cherry blossoms. So I love the teacup. It's so beautiful. The decorations, even on the inside, it has the cherry blossoms. So it's the teacup, and then it has the saucer, which again is very beautiful. And then it also has this little dessert plate with it as well. Now, the most incredible thing about all of this is that this whole set was $5. $5, guys. I've never bought a Royal Albert teacup for that much, like for that little money. I usually buy them anywhere between, $15 to $20, right? But I found this one for $5, all three, the dessert plate, the saucer, and the teacup. So I thought that was like serendipity for me. Like, wow, I can't believe this. This is awesome. So it was really cool. And again, the fact that I had found a teacup previous to that in the same place that was, like fall, and this one's like spring, and I was there in February, close to spring. I don't know. I just thought that was really cool, and I wanted to share that with you. But that teacup has inspired me to do a cherry blossom theme for my next tea party. So I will be hosting a tea party this month in March right before spring, and I'm gonna be sharing it with you, of course, but it's gonna be that theme. It's gonna be cherry blossom theme because I'm inspired by the beauty of that teacup, and so I'm really happy that I was able to add that to my collection for just $5. All right, moving on. The last two items I got from that mercantile place that I shared with you, which was in Frisco, Texas as well. And that's a store it's actually really big. And so the mercantile has like newer, modern things, but then it also has like other antiques and thrifted items that are there, you know. So it was actually pretty cool. Very, very nice store. If I lived in Texas and I was gonna buy, you know, things to furnish my home or decorate my home, I would definitely go there because they have a lot of nice things. And so I was able to find some nice things there as well. The first one that I'll share with you is a teacup and saucer. So I have this one, and this is not from any particular collection. It just says Royal Albert, bone china from England. That's all it says. But it has these beautiful purple flowers on them. And this is what the teacup looks like. So this is what the set looks like together. And this was $20. So again, that's more towards what I pay on average for the teacups if I'm not buying them brand new, right? If I buy them brand new, they're going to be more expensive. But when I get them at thrift stores or antique shops, or if I buy them on Facebook Marketplace, I don't typically pay more than $20. So that was, you know, what I paid for this set. And then the last thing that I purchased, also from Royal Albert, but it's not a teacup or a saucer. It's a little bowl. And so I thought, how adorable is this? You can put your little sugar cubes in here. Very, very cute. This is from the, I don't know if this is Polka Rose. I have it right here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check. Hold on. Because I have a cup. Ooh. Gotta be careful. I have the cup with that design. So this is from, polka blue. Okay, so it's not polka rose, it's polka blue. I knew I had something to do with the word polka in it because of the, you know, the dots. But anyway, so I have this mug, right, that I've had for a while, and I've shared it on previous videos as well. And I have the little spoons. I had 4, but now I'm down to 3 because one of them sadly broke. But I still have the blue one. Anyway, this bowl, and so I picked it up. It was only $15, and yeah, now I have it to add to my collection. Just a nice little bowl for my sugar cubes. All right, guys, so those are all of the items that I purchased while I was away on my trip. I hope that you guys enjoyed all of the information, and hopefully if you are in Texas, in those areas, you will go and check these places out. So I will see you in the next video real soon. Have a terrific day. Bye.